I can tell from the comments that were oft that people were pressed. And I want to know why. If you watch this video and you're pressed, could you just elaborate? I need to know why. Why are you pressed? Because she's talking back, or because she's talking in a manner that is not convenient for you or not acceptable for you? What's the problem? Because when I see videos like this, I want you all to remember or to have a second with yourself. Where do you think these children learn to talk like this? From their parents. If you see how my daughter at 5 years can talk to me and put me in my place, and the girl is right. The mom came late and she had to wait. So she's right in the rant. So I don't know why that's a problem. Y'all have this huge gap in your head where you think a child shouldn't be talking anyhow, even though the parent might have done something wrong. My children put me in my place. They put, and it's very much their right to do so. Because if I do something wrong, they have every right to tell me I did it wrongly. Of course, we need to talk about the way they talk to me, because I too need to watch the way I talk to them. So when my kids put me in my place that is not pleasant for myself, I need to first of all have a moment with myself and think, Nicole, do you think they are talking to you like this because you talk to them like that too? Because in 9 out of 10 cases, that's the case. That's exactly, your children see. Children see, children do. Forget all this, you're preaching your kids, be nice, be this. If you don't practice it, they will not get to practice it, okay? They will never be what you tell them to be, but what you show them to be. So when you talk to your kids in a manner like you saw this video now, they will talk back to you the same way. If you don't like that, if you're not cool with that, which is valid, do not talk to your kids this way. It's very simple. I will show you a picture now of my child when we went to the dentist 3 days ago. We have, in Germany, you go every 6 months, you go for regular checkups. Okay, so we went to the dentist. My oldest, I only went with 2 of my 5 kids. So the oldest that was present was snapping us. And my middle child was telling him to stop, that he doesn't want to be snapped at this moment. He didn't stop. I'll show you what he did. So obviously, this is me. And this is my son. You can see he got tired of the pictures. So he sent his brother a message. I didn't scold him for that. I did not correct him for that. He set a boundary. That boundary was not respected. So he gave a very valid response. Moreover, by the way, he learned this from me. I'm not even going to deny it. 90% of their curse words, they learned it from me. I curse a lot. I curse a lot, especially when I'm driving. But it is what it is. But thankfully, they are now in an age where I tell them, hey, at home, you can curse all the way you want. Just keep it down when you're outside. And they perfectly understand that. And that's perfectly fine for me. That's perfectly fine for their dad. We do not care. They are children. They have emotions. And they have every right to verbalize their emotions the way we do too as adults. Because the only thing that differentiates us from a child is the age and the experience. But the experience doesn't even matter, because there are people that are 30 years older than me that have less experience than I have, because of the way they lived. So that's not even an argument. Age is literally the only thing that differentiates us from children, and the development that comes with the age, basically. So if you don't want your kids to curse or talk a certain way, you need to practice what you preach. You need to be a role model, because like I said, children see, children do. They are not going to give a flying fuck about what you tell them to do, because they are going to see that your actions do not align with your words. Children are not stupid. They see that you tell them to do A, but you yourself, you're doing B. So if you do tell your kids to do A, but you yourself, you're not doing A, how the fuck do you think they can be seeing you as a role model and take you seriously? They are not stupid. And at the end of the day, they will figure you out, though. They will figure you out that you are a hypocrite and that you did not practice what you preach. And they're not going to take you seriously. I'm 33 and none of my parents practiced what they preached. None of them. Both of them fucked up in many aspects, in many layers, many times, and many aspects that I could never. I don't give a fuck how my kids talk. to some extent. They are human. They have emotions. It's stop labeling children by the way they talk and just look at the bigger picture. Look at the society they are being raised in. Look at the schools they go to. Look at how the teachers talk. Because very, very often that influence also comes from the teachers. Because teachers, guess the fuck what, are also human. They also have slip of tongues. And for a child, I swear to God, you need to say it only once and it has registered in their brain. That's how quick they are. And just the last part of it, get down from your high horse. You are not any better than your children just because you're older. You do not automatically get to be respected just because you're older. You do not get to be respected automatically just because you're their mother. You need to show them that they can trust in you, that they can lean on you, they can depend on you, that you are their role model. You need to practice that. You need to show them that you are worthy of their respect. The same way, of course, there's a decent amount of respect you give to everybody, right? Basic people, even if you meet somebody on the road, you're not going to spit at them, clearly. You are going to give everybody some decent amount of human respect, right? I'm talking about that, I'm your mother, you need to respect me. That does not happen in my house. My kids don't owe me shit. I wanted them, and I am going to prove to them every day of their lives. One, I don't care if I'm not going to be busy telling them I love them. Of course, I tell them I love them, but my priority is, do you feel loved by me? It's not what I tell you, it's what you feel. If I tell you I love you from morning till night, but you don't feel loved by me because my actions don't align with my words, that I love you can shove it up your ass. It's useless. So I prefer to make sure by actions, by being present, by being a listening ear, by being a friend, before anything else, that my kids feel loved by me. Not that I'm telling them I love them. I mean, that's part of it, but you get the point. And if I fuck up, they will tell me. My youngest is 5, and if I mess up, best believe she's going to put me in my place. She has boundaries, and if I exceed these boundaries, she's absolutely going to put me in my place. And that's how we are raising them. We are raising them to have their voice and to never change that for nobody. Malia, can you briefly pause the TV? I want to ask you something, please. What do I always tell you? The only thing that should be changing when you have set a boundary, and then maybe if you want to change that boundary, how does that happen?
Your heart changes mind.
Sorry?
Your heart changes mind.
When your heart changes your mind?
Yeah.
That's the only way, the only time your boundary should be changed, right?
Yeah.
Not if somebody gives you something, or if I beg you, or if I say, but I love you. Nothing like this would change your boundary, right? Yeah. And do you feel that I have the right to cross your boundary just because I'm your mom?
No.
No. I also have to ask for your consent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will never scold. You can play it. You can play it again. Thank you. I'll never scold her for talking back at me, for putting me in my place, for defending her boundaries, for expressing her emotions, her feelings, whatever. I'll guide her and help her regulate her emotions, because she needs to learn that. If I don't regulate my emotions, she will never be able to. She will learn it when she's an adult, but anything you learned late, make sure you teach your kids early. So I'll make sure that if she has a tantrum, or I don't even call it a tantrum, we call it having big feelings. If she has big feelings, I guide her through that. I don't tell her to shut up. I don't tell her to get to her room. I don't tell her that there's no space for that. I tell her, I know you have big feelings. We can work through that together. That does not always work because I too am human. But if it doesn't work, I'll apologize later and we do better next time.